Bam Wham mic test.
Bam Wham. What's going on, everybody? Joe, Passion Unchained here, helping you build a life you love. It is a core philosophy of mine that building a life you love is the ultimate goal in life. And while you're going to die someday, might as well enjoy your time here on this earth. So I'm here to help you build a life you love in all aspects. Love, wealth, happiness, health, all that jazz. Help you learn from my experience, because that is what I think about all day, every day. Today I'm going to talk about a philosophy that's good for business and love and friendships and pretty much everything. Anytime you're dealing with other people, which is always. Unless you want to be a hermit and live off the land and go ahead and do that. Then I would suggest that you do that, because that would make you happy, and go ahead. But for most people, they want to live in a society that has affluence and where they have relationships with other people that are fulfilling. Whether that be business relationships, friendships, love relationships. And I've noticed that many people in this world care a whole lot about what other people think. I used to. Some people I know still do. There's a healthy amount of caring about what other people think. It's not zero. I think if you care zero about what other people think, then you would be a psychopath. The issue is not so much caring, but obsessing. Like, how much do you care? Do you care a normal amount? Do you want people to like you? That's normal. Do you change your beliefs, and do you change your path in life so that people will like you? Okay, that's a bit much. It's extremely common, though, and that's something that, if you're doing that right now, understandable. It's easy to sacrifice what you want for other people to like you, because it's such a strong need for other people to like us. Whether it be customers, if we're in a business, whether it be our boss, if we're in a job, whether it be our lover, if we have a relationship, or the people we're dating, if we don't have a relationship yet, or the girls that we go on dates with, guys, whatever have you. It's easy to be like, you know what, I actually don't want to see other people because you don't want me to, and you like me, and I want you to keep liking me. It's easy to make that decision, because if we say, well, actually, I do really want to see other people, and that means you won't like me, well, then it's like, now I don't know if I'm going to have that love, that validation in my life that I had before. I had a mentor recently. We had a falling out because there was something that I wanted that I knew it was annoying him to ask for it, but it was important to me. And I decided that whatever the consequences, I wanted to ask for it and at least get an answer. And the answer was no, but not only was the answer no, the fact that I'd asked him annoyed him enough that he decided to not work with me anymore, which I knew was an option. I didn't think that he would do that, but I knew it was a potential option. And in the end, I am satisfied. I'm at peace, because I knew that the thing I asked for was important to me, and I was willing to accept the consequences of him not liking me. Another situation recently, I'm working with a partner of what do you call it, another company that gives me shoots, and a few customers aren't happy with me. Now, the majority are. I've even gotten tips from some customers. I've gotten more tips from customers than unsolicited, like over $50 tips from customers that aren't. I've gotten more tips. I've gotten 4 tips from customers, and 3 customers are not happy with me. And some of it I understand, some of it I don't. But and none of it is. There is some stuff I could have done better, sure, but it's not really my fault. It's more so the client's expectations, and that's why they're unhappy. There are some things I could have done better, yes, but it wouldn't have made them happy even if I did them better. It was more so they had really decided that they were going to be unhappy before the photo shoot. So it was not really much I could do. But the company that they hired the company who used me for the photo shoots. That company, their philosophy, hold on a sec. their philosophy is bad reviews are bad. People need to like us, so we're gonna bend over backwards to make them happy. And now, there's nothing wrong with trying to find a compromise and trying to make other people happy, but there should be a line. There should be a line at which you draw, right? And in working with that company, it's not really my place to tell them how to do things, so I don't, and I'm happy to let them do things as they wish. But it does mean that it puts a little extra effort and strain on me to have to kind of try to make the client happy. So in life, there are times when you have a decision to make. You're like, okay, how much is this worth it to me? Is it worth, how much resentment am I willing to build? And I've decided in this situation that there are more than enough solutions that don't require us parting ways. One solution is they have a customer service guy, and I can let him deal with the unhappy clients, do my best work for every client that I have, and if a client is not happy, then he can talk to them, because that's what he's there for. Because the more I talk to unhappy clients, the more time and mental space and energy it takes up for me, and that's mental space and energy I could use to get better photos for the other clients. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind, is how much mental space is this thing taking up. If somebody trying to make you be somebody you're not, or do something you're not, like for instance, what the latest client, I've put his photos past the latest unhappy client, I've put his photos past a lot of people, and all of them are very impressed by them. And he sent a video to me and to the customer service guy about all his issues with them. And yeah, I mean, he's not necessarily wrong about the issues with the photos. They're not perfect, but I'm not, like, I don't need to take my time and energy and apply it to like critiquing my own work when most people are happy with my work. And in fact, a lot of people recommend me directly to everybody else because they like my work specifically, and they think I'm the best at the job of the people that they know. So I've decided it's a boundary for me. I'm going to let the customer service guy deal with this client, and I'm going to do my best to respect myself, let that go, and move on. So that's another thing about, and that's the thing, is like this, even me talking about this, because I know that the company I work for, one of the guys there watches my channel. There's a risk here of them being like, hey Joe, I don't like you I mean, you guys don't know who they are, so that's okay. But there's a risk here of him like, I don't like you talking about this openly. I don't like how you're dealing with this. I don't like how you're looking at the situation. We want guys who are willing to bend over backwards to make the client happy. That is a reasonable outcome. And while I definitely hope that does not happen, it's important to me to have self-respect and to make people happy, but have boundaries and have a limit of how, like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to misrepresent my work. I'm proud of my work. Other people are enjoying this exact photo shoot. Other people think it's good too. I'm not going to admit that I think they're bad, because I think they're great, and other people do too. Everyone I've shown to, I think his expectations are too high, if I'm being quite honest. So, have self-respect, but also it's important to be able to speak freely. And if I'm in a situation where I'm not allowed to say my truth, which is, I think that my photos are great, I think this guy has high expectations, then maybe it's best to move on. Now, I want this to work out the best, and I think that the best solution, like, I think there's a solution for me for us to work together and for me to be happy, which means, the customer service guy dealing with all of the customer service stuff, and I deal with the photography stuff. But in caring more about what you think than what other people think, you may have to accept the consequences of people not wanting to work with you. And a possible outcome of this situation is the people I work with saying, hey Joe, this is not a match. And that would set my financial goals back like 3 months probably, because I would have to build up my own business, which I haven't been feeding energy into because I've been working with their clients almost one a day, sometimes 2 or 3 a day. or sorry, sometimes 2 a day, a couple days in a row. But I would have to build up my own business, and I would dip into my savings, and it would put me back, and it would be an inconvenience. But I would become better for it because I'm keeping my self-respect and my freedom, and that is more important to me than any particular opportunity. And so I would suggest to you, when it comes to dating, business, anything, value your freedom to express yourself and your self-respect higher than any individual opportunity. Because if you lose that opportunity, then you are able to get another one. Now, of course, you might be in a hard financial situation like I was, where I kind of had to take anything a few times in my life. And if it's important to you to get yourself on a good, solid financial footing, then sure, like maybe temporarily sacrificing your self-respect in order to get the money where you can have that freedom, that might be the decision that gives you the most net freedom. So you have to gauge that for yourself. I have an email list, by the way. Well, let me give one more point, close this, and then I'll do the closing bit. In relationships, it's a similar deal. If, say, I'm dating a girl and she's like, well, I don't want you to be doing mushrooms, because every now and then I may imbibe in psilocybin mushrooms. I don't want you to do that. Like, I love you, I like you, like I want to keep seeing you, but I don't want you to do mushrooms. And I would be like, well, it's been nice knowing you. I wouldn't be, even if she was the hottest girl I ever met. This actually happens somewhat often. Like, there's some incompatibility, and I'm like, hey, like if it's important to you, like let's not see each other. I'm going to keep having mushrooms. Not this particular situation, but other things they've asked. And I'd like to keep seeing you, but you can make your own decision. If this means that you don't want to see me, then no worries. It's been fun. And that's been a situation I've had a lot of times, not specifically with the mushrooms, but with other things, with a lot of girls. And nothing is worth you sacrificing the things that matter to you. Even if she's the hottest girl, that's amazing in all their ways, if I have to sacrifice who I am or things that I really enjoy that are important to me for her or for money or for anything, then it's too high a price. It's priceless. And I suggest that you approach life the same way, where there are certain things you won't compromise on, and you try as much as you can to find a solution that is a win-win solution. But if you can't find that, be willing to let go, because that is what gives you freedom. If you're not willing to let go, you don't have any freedom. And freedom is the mandatory key to having a passionate life, to living a life you love. If you don't have the freedom you need, then it's a non-starter. You're never going to build a life you love. And having freedom means being willing to let go and being willing to make hard decisions and move on with your life without this boss or this money opportunity or this girl or whatever. I have an email list, by the way, link in the description below. I would suggest you sign up for that. I think it's freaking awesome. I'm putting more energy and effort into these videos because I want to build a relationship with you guys. I want to help you guys build a life you love, share my lessons, and selfishly, I want to build this YouTube channel to a point where it can support me and where it can help me pay the bills, and help me share the products I'm doing right now, which, by the way, one of the products I'm doing is dating profile photos. I do it for this partner company, but I also do it for myself. And so if you're curious about that, there's also a link in the description below. You can see my portfolio, other clients that I've worked with, what they have to say about their photo shoot. And yeah, man, I'm excited to share this with you. And I do photo shoots here in Austin, Texas, but I also fly out to wherever you are. I'm actually flying out for 2 clients in Boston later this month. So really excited about that. I've been flying out a lot of places, and this is the latest place that I am going to. So I'm excited to help my clients in Boston. I'm excited to work with you guys. Reach out if you're curious, and subscribe if you haven't. So cheers. Bye.